Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing really good. Feeling really good. Actually had a really good colonic this morning. Already been up since real early this morning. Um, don't know if you can hear it in the background, but got a loop of my music running. So talking about things we're talking about. I guess that first off, there's a few people I gotta reintroduce every time. I guess when you're somebody that's not running with the program of a known set of rules, it's like, oh, okay, so here's the routine. I was vegetarian at age 13, became a raw vegan at age 22. I'm going to be 49 in May, and I went almost 25 years of being a true raw vegan. High raw. Always been a foodie all my life, interested in all kinds of food. And then in 2010, I started investigating, looking into consuming higher amounts of fats. In that time, I'd done the 80-10-10 thing, way before it was called 80-10-10, quote-unquote fruitarianism, to great unsuccess. And I come from definitely a very good lineage, which is real important with somebody that's doing being healthy. That's why the whole idea of somebody saying, oh, look at the way they look, because there's a lot of factors that go into a person looking well and having that glowing look and all that kind of stuff besides what they're eating. Anyways, so that's me in a nutshell, and then so I started. So anyways, this one person, Rossinga, oh, you're a health freak and you eat meat. Okay, so hello, it's 2012. Not to be insulting, but yes, there are a lot of discoveries that are saying that humans actually that might well be our diet. That we do more closely resemble predators, and I believe I'm right in saying that all predators, I mean that's the nature of being a predator, are carnivores or omnivores, mostly carnivores probably. So we would be we more resemble predators with the way we work and stuff like that and what we've done, and so I noticed my health was failing. That's why I got interested in the world of first eating raw meat and kind of going back to being vegan, getting more interested in educating myself with more about fats. I was already starting to see, way before I became a non-vegan, like in 2007, I started eating tons of coconuts because I was getting into eating soups. It was this whole era of people being crazy about green smoothies, the whole Botanco family, which are a great inspiration for the pure raw mindset, for sure. But I was already into the no sugar kind of thing, and all of that raw smoothie stuff, green smoothie stuff was all based around sugar. And so I was already doing savory soups, and I was looking more to perfect making savory soups, which in my mind are one of the greatest ways to eat raw food and really get a lot of deep flavor representations, especially if you're not stuck on the idea of it being completely a smoothie, when you can start adding chunky things in there, like marinated, slightly dehydrated shiitake mushrooms and hemp and marinated onions and things like that. It makes it just like, wow, this some kind of a health food. It really doesn't taste like it. So, but that got me into doing a lot of coconuts that period. And so when I went, whoa, there's something to this whole fat thing, because I had known from being in the 90s and have been being a raw vegan and all of this kind of stuff, that I definitely might have experimented with getting way too little fats. And so I was eating, just going with what I thought, I started eating a lot of coconuts to great results. And keep in mind, at this point, 2007, I was 44. So definitely that's the age when the jing starts heading downhill. And so that's why I say to everybody, people that are in the 30s and 35s that go, oh, look at me, I'm healthy, look at me radiate. It doesn't really mean a lot, especially if they're advocating an extreme diet. they're advocating an extreme diet would mean more if they'd been doing it for a long time when they were more in their 40s, when the sort of battery pack that they bring into their life from being born, which is known as prenatal Jing within the Chinese system, or just basically you know, your lineage, what you have. Some people have a lot, some people don't. So that's why some people sort of get sick all the time, some people don't. It has a lot to do with what you're eating, but it also has a lot to do with your constitution. So anyways, so that's where I got, and why I sort of started experimenting. And at my heart, I'm always a raw vegan, and that's kind of where I'll be returning to, and just slightly augmenting that with bits of vegetarianism and little bits of making me an omnivore, but still very, very, very plant-based. The only place not being plant-based is probably eating a lot of ghee to get my omega-3s and stuff like that. So that's where I got to lead into. That's I'm kind of talking about LifeRegenerator, Dan the Man, so we got to stay on topic with that. The whole bodybuilding thing, I have not had any success with any quote-unquote bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is building muscle to like epic proportion. Essentially, isn't that bodybuilding? And sort of trying to keep the fat down. Or the not keeping the fats down, but keeping the look of fat, meaning getting the body as sculpted and as large as possible while avoiding that sort of, you know, getting the six-pack thing going, which is a whole different process than being able to lift weight, because you sort of get this balance, which I reckon is probably easy if you follow a bodybuilding routine and more look into the primal body, primal mind mindset way of doing stuff. So anyways, yeah, pushing bodybuilding raw fooding is, unless you're really getting into some serious superfoodage, some hemp and some coconut and some it doesn't even seem like it's really that possible. And I think a lot of people that show people having success on it, it's like maybe somebody that's already carrying it, a lot of it. And I think it looks good, Dan McDonald, Dan the Man, your look. Although a lot of people would say you're getting that sort of skinny, I don't want to use the word hollow, but I think that's how a lot of people see it. But anyways, the point is, if you're already carrying it, I think that you can, there's definitely you can probably maintain it. But somehow you're going to have to really get into some of that dense protein, dense fat thing that doesn't seem to be available in the raw diet, raw vegan diet. And definitely not in that whole world of juice and fruitarianism and all that kind of stuff. You know, and again, I'm not saying you won't maintain it for a while, but especially with something that's really taxing, doing any kind of fruitarian or something where you're not supplementing all those things in the right way. I mean, I personally question whether bodybuilding's a smart thing in the first place anyways, unless it's just personal, something that you have to do, and that's actually super important to do what you want to do in the way that I look at things. But anyways, that's just I kind of want to be done with this subject, and I don't know, keep conversation going and keep the YouTube health community alive, and all of this interesting people, people telling me that they've started blogging because of seeing me blog and stuff like that, and that's great. I'm learning a lot from everybody, and you know, that's basically it. But again, in my whole jumping in this is to bring credibility to the alternative health movement, and especially the whole idea of all of us sort of being these kind of midwives, if you will, of sort of helping each other, where we don't have degrees of just and I think what's really important, and I'd like to see people do more of, which I'm going to say, hey, I'm the patron saint of. Two things really that I'm saying that you can get out of my blogs that I want to say every single time is everybody is an artist, and that is the most important thing, because it's the only thing that distinguishes us from all the other animals, including the super smart ones like the dolphins and the horses and stuff like that, and the whales and what have you. I hope I'm not forgetting any of the super smart ones. And also the invent yourself. Don't get all locked into that that rail, that tunnel vision thinking, because there's you got to unlock your own secret, you know. And again, the Keith Live Rockstar secret to that is follow the rules to a T, and then once you've mastered it, then sort of start reinserting yourself. And then just keep looking at all these different programs and consider something that perhaps you've left behind is maybe that maybe you thought was an untruth is true. Or maybe something that you thought was a truth and you definitely thought was a truth is not necessarily a truth, or is only a truth sometimes. Like the whole idea of the raw vegan diet, for example. Which I think is something that you should maybe do in chunks of time. Definitely no longer than 5 years, and then start looking at, I don't even know where to go, except, I mean, just in my experimentation, you gotta get some animal flesh going in there. I'm trying to say it's alright to be vegetarian, but it just doesn't seem like it's as easy to get those fats that you need. I mean, people like David Wolf and some of these people that are determined to be vegan may unlock the secret of this stuff for sure, because the sort of the algae and extracting the fats out of algae are seeming to be the thing. But some of the stuff is really expensive for the amount that you really need, when just a simple thing like ghee, and we're not even taking into account all the micronutrients and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, yeah, so the catch of the day, as it were, the pick of the day, the musical selection would be, I definitely have this love of, not being racist here, white boys sort of interpreting tribal music or indigenous music. And one of my favorites in that department, or some of the ones I've already played, let's start with those, is Muslim Gauze for sure. That's one I like a lot. Steve Roach, although I don't think I've recommended any Steve Roach's tribal stuff. He does definitely have that sound. But here's the other one that I like a lot, which is a band called Yuki Conjugate. They've been around for a while, and they've been kind of like me in the sense of that they've never really, it seemed like they've always had kind of day jobs, and they've not really worried about success, which has allowed them to just be art-minded and whatever. So the song is called Californium. I was pretty happy when I found out it was on YouTube, and I was like, oh, that's going to definitely be my musical tip the next time I am on, which I knew was going to be the next day, because I'm trying to get on every day just for the hell of it. Yeah, this is, I don't know what else to say about this. This band is somebody who's messed around with just conceptually, always in that tribal vein, sticking synthesizers in there for background, which always works great in the tribal situation. I think somebody was mentioning, oh, it was you, Zach, talking about Pete Namlick and, oh God, what's that guy's name? Turkish guy, Bonkal or something like that. The same way, same formula. Anyways, definitely a favorite of mine off the album Sunchemical.